Good day there, once again viewers, this is Kamikaze78 here, coming to you guys with some more Titanfall content. So guys, for today's video we are going to be taking a more official look at the newly released first-person shooter Titanfall from Respawn Entertainment, critically analysing the most important aspects of the game and providing my own critique on what the current situation of the game is and how it can be improved upon possibly. So without further ado, let's get straight into it.
On the way. Stand by for Titanfall.
Titanfall is a fast-paced game, there is no doubt about that. However, there are multiple factors that split this game off from the other fast-paced titles on the market, which is actually quite contradictory to what many people seem to be stereotyping this game to be, which is a gimmick of the Call of Duty franchise. Titanfall incorporates two primary stages of gameplay that is experienced easily between all players in each match, these being the Pilot and Titan stages. In more detail, the Pilot stage incorporates yourself as what some may think to be a standard infantryman. However, Titanfall does a great job of dimming, if not removing, this mindset completely through multiple factors. The first being the pilot's exceptional maneuverability thanks to the ability to double jump and wall run. Not only do these factors greatly increase the fast-paced mentality that this game desires to achieve in a unique and fun way at the same time, but it also increases the possible skill cap to an almost uncomprehendable amount, giving players new ways to tackle scenarios in a fun and exciting way each time they play. To add to the pilot's already dominant skills, Respawn Entertainment have made a highly controversial and risky decision to incorporate AI into the multiplayer experience, yet have managed to pull it off with great success. In order to balance out this integration, they've ensured that the AI are close to useless without removing any arguable reasons to having them. From a gameplay perspective, the AI give newer players whom are not as comfortable with engaging enemy players a target to practice on whilst decreasing their time, or their build time I should say, on their Titan. Now, after your time as a pilot has served well, you are given the option to bring down your own personal Titan mech, which gives you the option to enter the second primary part of the game. As you call down your personal Titan, you will have the option to let it roll around on the battlefield in an AI mode, or you can take control of it directly. However, do not be fooled. Just because you may have or are manning a giant mech, you are certainly far from invincible. Respawn Entertainment has done a downright excellent job in balancing out the David vs Goliath feeling by giving David, aka the pilot, some decent tools and methods for engaging a Titan without removing the effectiveness of the Titan himself. Every pilot comes with an anti-Titan weapon and the ability to mount onto the back of a Titan, open a hatch to ignore the Titan's shields as he fires into the Titan's exposed section of wiring, dealing direct damage. The transition between these two stages is seamless also, with no pausing gameplay required, and can be done at any time in which the option presents itself. Customization in Titanfall is very much like what you would expect from a Call of Duty game, utilizing the very familiar creator class system, which whilst incorporates some only slight differences among the two, works individually for both pilots and Titans alike. A pilot has access to a primary weapon, sidearm, anti-Titan weapon, as well as a special ability, some ordnance, and 2 perks, as well as the option to play as male or female. Across all classes, pilots also get access to something called the Hacker Knife. Now, it's not used for melee combat, but it is in turn used to turn an enemy Spectre AI to your advantage when in a melee range, or to hack or to activate an automated turret that is scattered across some of the maps and turn them to your side. The Titans also have access to 2 perks, an ability, and some ordnance, but are restricted to a primary weapon, and as opposed to a pilot, instead of having the ability to gender change, they have the ability to switch Titan chassis between the Atlas, Ogre, and Strider Titan platforms, each having their own strengths and weaknesses. Now, whilst both platforms of creator class are enjoyable and provide the player with many ways to attune to their playstyle throughout their loadout, I do feel that more weapons and more options for the loadouts overall would not have gone astray, as in the long run players will be stuck using the same weapons and abilities over and over again, which does put this game at risk of running strong for a few weeks with the player base dying off quickly after not being able to use any new gear. My worry is that players will simply get bored. They will have effective loadouts, but half of the fun of playing games is to experiment, is to find new things. Now whilst you may be able to do this through the movement system, you also need more unlockables to keep the players persistently unlocking things and to therefore keep them interested.
This is McAllen. Hang on. I'm on my way.
We're getting off this hill! Come with me! Holy shit, it's McAllen!
Now Titanfall is easily one of the first games that I've ever played to date, not including MMOs, that incorporates a campaign into a fast-paced multiplayer shooter and does it well. As you begin your Titanfall campaign experience, you'll be thrown onto one of the game's two factions, being the IMC or the militia, into what would originally appear to be a standard multiplayer match. However, upon entering the game, you will be treated to an intro cinematic that introduces the background scenario for the match that is about to be played and how the objectives of the game mode relate to whether a victory or a defeat is the end result. Now, whilst the storytelling and the overall campaign is only a background enhancement of the classic multiplayer modes, it still builds greatly on the overall immersion aspect of the game, as it somewhat creates a greater emphasis to completing objectives. Immersion is also a very positive factor for this game, as it is something that many first-person shooters just don't seem to be able to match, and Titanfall really does shine in this instance, with again the AI and the overall map design being a couple of great examples. Considering that Titanfall is a 6v6 game, without the AI, the game itself would just not be capable of replicating the near-future war scenario that this game is attempting to accomplish. With the AI communicating and engaging one another and other players, it just allows for the battlefield to feel more alive and more interactive. The interior design of Titanfall is also brilliantly executed, as it takes the buildings that are enterable, that being most, and gives them a feeling to them, and creates a sense of immersion as opposed to having buildings as empty shells that you can simply go into but have got no furniture and really don't hold a certain purpose in the game. Meanwhile, the furniture in these buildings can serve as cover. It can just overall create an environment for you to set yourself in.
Believe me, I'm not hiding anymore. You're unstoppable. This intel is a gold mine, Mac.
All up, Titanfall is a unique and fast-paced first-person shooter, bravely and successfully incorporating many factors that many have tried and failed at. It performs proficiently at catering to a wide variety of player skill, and the immersion in this game, considering it is a shooter and multiplayer only, is second to none. I fear slightly for the lack of unlockables in some fields, in which I hope that these fears are nullified by the addition of free updates in the future to keep the content new and exciting, and increasing the interest over time ratio. Now, I for one am not overly experienced reviewer for games, and as a result, a rating would seem kind of random for me personally. So therefore, as a final conclusion, I say that if you are interested in a fast-paced shooter with a unique twist, then Titanfall is certainly a bang for your buck. However, if you are more based upon the Armor series where you like the more slow-paced gameplay, then this game may not exactly be something for you. That said, guys, that does conclude today's review on Titanfall. If you guys agree or disagree with today's verdict, please feel free to backhand the like button below or leave a rating of any way, shape or form. And also, guys, please feel free to comment me any sort of feedback down below. This is really the sort of first official review I've ever done, so any feedback on this one is greatly appreciated. And guys, if you'd like to keep up to date with the content in which I'm releasing, please feel free to subscribe. I focus primarily on PlanetSide 2 and moving into the Titanfall scene as I go. And guys, any of the links down below will take you to any social media in which you are free to interact with me. Once again, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.